This episode is sponsored by avocados. Yum! Hey, why is that seed so big?
Oh, seed.
Seed. The seed. Yeah.
They said seed like they were getting fat.
Welcome back to another episode of Hold Your Horses, Idioms for Idiots. Kick back and relax as the three idiot horsemen dialogue, debate, digress, and delve deep into the mysteries of our ridiculous language and its many idioms. We'll get to the bottom of these fabulous phrases before the cows come home, so saddle up, sit back, and let's ride.
Here we are.
No cats in America, and the streets are filled with cheese. There are no.
That's Feifel Goes West.
Yep.
Good. Okay.
No, it's just Feifel Goes to America.
Oh, okay.
An American Tale.
An American Tale. Yeah.
And then
west.
And then he goes west.
Yeah.
He starts on the East Coast.
Is that a sequel?
Then he does the prairie.
It's really good. Second one.
Is it live action or a cartoon?
It's a cartoon.
Animation.
It's just straight cartoon.
All right.
There's been a long. This will be our cold open. There's been a long running, and I think it spilled over into this venue. That. You know, you talk to somebody. I mean, you've watched films.
You watch films.
I go to movies.
You know, I went to school for filmmaking. You know, and so we talk about distinguishing between different types of movies.
Right.
And when there are physical, living, breathing actors
just normal
portraying characters,
movies.
That's a live action film.
Yeah.
Live, living.
Yeah.
Whereas you have cartoons, animations, drawings, computer animated, that's animated.
Dead films.
Yeah. Like
live
if you
action
can't tell
animated.
the difference, you have to kind of have these words to describe them instead of being like, oh, I'm assuming those people are alive and not just dummies moving around.
I know you're trying to make a point, but Dan has a friend, and Jeremy Spears.
Hey, Jeremy.
Hey,
Jeremy works at Disney, has
Disney.
worked at Disney for a while. He has an awesome
Whittle woodwork.
Whittle woodshop.
Where he makes awesome trinkets, mugs, everything.
Carvings.
He
whittles them.
He's a filmmaker. He was up here for within the last few weeks
For Dan's surprise birthday
for Dan's
party.
surprise 40th.
Still not 40.
Still not 40 though.
No,
So we gotta jump on that. Anyways, so I had the chance to really ask Jeremy to really tug on it. So I said, Jeremy, what's the industry term for, and so I explained it, and Tom was there and trying to explain himself, looked like a little boy, and Jeremy didn't understand because, of course, it's live action and animated. Anyways,
there's cartoons and movies.
I'm on both sides.
Pretty standard.
It's similar to when people say, "Oh, it was a fixed wing." They're talking about an airplane.
Yeah. Okay.
So.
Yeah, no one says that.
No, but people say it.
Yeah, if you're an idiot, if you want to be.
Where are you flying? Oh, I was flying a fixed wing.
I mean,
you mean an airplane?
You mean a movie? No, it was live action.
Tom, do you like the movie The Jungle Book?
The cartoon?
As opposed to? Anyways, so that's our cold open.
Just the one with humans.
So, welcome back to another consistent episode of this lovely podcast where we talk about idioms and we discuss them and try to guess their origin, and along the way we have fun. Boy, we have loads of fun.
Buckets of fun.
Boatfuls.
Having so much fun
Barrels.
right now. So, I want to know, this is actually bringing up another, not idiom, but what's the last deadline that either of you have had to make a deadline? Think about it for a moment. I'll tell you.
Oh, like taxes?
Sure, yeah, good.
That's a good one.
That's a great one. Otherwise, there's consequences for that. But like editing projects, there's a deadline.
When I was in the newspaper, that was constant.
Very good. We haven't heard much about that.
Yeah, the Sierra Mountain Times. I was the editor of 2 years, maybe. Who knows?
Oh, just 2?
Shut down.
Didn't they fold?
Shut down real quick. Yeah.
But like an editing project, you have a deadline. You are going. Did you have something? What's the last deadline you had to?
I mean, I've had some self-imposed deadlines.
Sure. Okay.
I would say.
Like
at
40.
school, it was like, hey, all you teachers, you got to have your syllabuses in by this
time, by this day.
Dead
line. And maybe you got to jump on it and you did it, got it completed like days in advance, or maybe you were going down to the wire right until 11:59.
Yeah.
Right.
I kind of like deadline too, though.
Deadline, yeah. Yeah.
And down to the
There's
wire.
a few wire line, but yeah, just right up until like some school projects that's like.
Oh, I did that every time in college. Every paper was all-nighter.
It was on down to the wire.
Yeah.
See, but a lot of your stuff is like, physically, like you'd have to hand it in, right?
Physically.
So the most recent schooling I did was online,
Oh.
and it's like it has a timestamp. It's due by this time, and your submission receipt.
Deadline online.
Yeah, exactly. So it's
Online
like
deadline.
Yeah, there are a few papers down to the wire.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's what we're going to talk about, and I've used this a lot.
Yeah.
Down to the wire.
All right, guys, we're down to the
obviously.
wire in class.
Yep.
Yeah.
But it got me thinking, why do we say that?
I do
Does-
say that.
Don't say it, but does anything come to your mind right away?
Yes.
Yes.
Great. Wow. Okay.
I have two.
That's
I have
wow.
two.
Okay.
I have two
You
very
didn't look at my notes, did you?
Specific.
very easy ones.
Let
Very easy
Trav
one?
go first since he never really gets to talk.
Let me go first. It's my episode. It's my time.
Hustle.
Excuse me. I have the floor.
Okay.
But you will learn something, okay?
Okay.
And that's what I'm here for. Because you're giving your sweet.
Oh,
Yep.
okay. I was
You're
wondering.
giving.
I was wondering what he was here for this whole time.
You're
Yes.
giving your precious moments to listen to our
You only have so
voices.
many precious moments
Exactly.
in a day.
So I was thinking, maybe like trapeze artists, they're balancing and stuff. It's a balancing act, but I was like, that's dumb.
Yeah, that was done.
So
That's where
then,
that came from.
but then in my mind,
That's
and
a
I even
good start.
drew it.
Huge.
I'm thinking a little little stick of dynamite. I'm like, okay, that's like a a fuse, right?
Yes, good.
Then that got me to thinking about more explosions, right?
Good job.
Okay.
Yeah.
Where were you when you were having these thoughts?
We were driving to dinner, and I was like, I need to write some notes down.
Yeah.
So I did. So, what came up was disarming a bomb, and maybe it's a classic Hollywood sort of,
I hate you.
right?
Yeah. No,
Okay,
literally.
you might have some to add to
Yeah.
this, but I went.
I'm thinking Hurt Locker.
Yep.
I wrote it anyways. Okay. So disarming a bomb, but you
good
have
though, 'cause
you
my
have
two are different.
very
so,
good.
yeah.
You have the typical sort of like red letters counting, red numbers counting down. 5, 4, 3.
But in the movie, it starts at 10, and it's like a 7-minute scene.
Oh, yeah. It's
yeah.
crazy. A
Which
lot of
is-
cutting.
A lot
back
of
and
things
forth.
happen in that 10
Exactly.
seconds.
So high stress situation, not a lot of time, but you get it at the last second down the wire. Makes me think of Hurt Locker. Great movie. Jeremy Renner, if you're out there,
Oh.
if you
Ren.
got some time.
He's out there. He listens.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, probably.
I mean, he hears.
yeah, a lot of things, but I don't know on
I
this
don't know about
from
from
this
the years
show.
I've ever caught.
Kind of a
this.
local boy down in Modesto.
That's
No,
right.
yeah,
From
yeah. No, I
Modesto.
mean, he listens like he. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
He
It's just
has,
his
like, the
ears here.
ability to-
Great film. I loved it.
Yeah.
But they're dealing with EOD technicians,
Right.
explosive ordnance
You had to-
disposal.
You had to
okay,
look that up.
I did. Yeah.
Okay.
And what does
Explosive
ordnance mean?
ordnance.
Well, like a noise ordinance.
That's with an I.
Oh.
This is ORDNANCE.
CE.
Ordnance.
I don't know that one.
Mounted guns or artillery, a branch of armed forces dealing with supply and storage of weapons, ammo, or equipment, right?
They keep things in order.
EOD. So the first technicians began training. It was a World War II necessity.
Right.
So they began training at the Bomb Disposal School in Maryland in April 1942. The origins of this branch.
That's me.
Okay.
Keep going.
The origins of this branch, again, originated out of World War II because what's called UXBs, unexploded bombs, they were a huge problem when the German fighters were blitzing English cities. So some of those were duds, that the bombs they would drop, but some were designed to go off hours later. So it was becoming a huge problem.
Cruel.
America was kind of, the U.S. was like, gauging kind of what it needed to do, and this came up. We need to have technicians who are go in,
Diffuse
disarm
these
them.
bad boys.
The need for specialized
Diffuse
training.
the situation.
Diffuse the situation. So I think it has something to do with that, and so I think it originated mid 1940s.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Okay. You only get one, unless that was it.
See.
Well, that is what it probably is, but I'll think of something else. But I also want to, what wire colored in most movies is it red? What's the last one they cut?
Which pill?
Red or
which
blue?
Wire?
Right? Isn't it? It's got to be.
Well, there's always like red, blue, or green.
It seems like they should just always cut everyone one, but red.
The red's the not cut.
Yeah, that's the one you're like, no, but you cut them all? Or just it has to be the right order?
It's always one you cut.
And or do you cut 3 and leave 1? I forget how it works.
Another awesome film scene, Casino Royale, 2006.
Is there a bomb cutting
James
scene?
Bond.
Yeah,
no,
they
he gets
cut
poisoned.
A few, though.
He gets poisoned, and the defibrillator that he needs, the little wire, is out of it for some reason. And so his love interest comes and, the wire needs to go in.
For some
Boom.
reason I'm thinking of Die Hard.
Die Hard's great.
When he has to put the things on the scales.
You're thinking of The Rock when he's lowering the green balls into the chamber. If they touch,
chemical warfare,
it's game.
I feel like there's
game
over. There was a good one. Oh, no! So the guy's sweating a bunch, and it's Ocean's 11.
Oh yes.
When the little nerd guy goes in and he wipes the directions that he wrote on his hand on his forehead.
Yeah.
And
That's
he's like,
such a good movie.
I don't think he cuts though. He clips the little like thing to the wires, but I don't think
he is taking a polygraph during that one of those scenes. Okay, it wasn't the one.
It would be fun though to research all the different movies with bomb scenes
and
and see what the directors choose as their.
That's the one.
That's the one you either cut or don't. And I don't know if you cut one wire or you're cutting all of them except one.
It's different every time
because the people that make them. We forgot to bring up pipe bombs in the last episode.
I didn't want to go there.
Right, you don't want to dream of that. Personal. That's Timothy McVeigh right there.
Okay.
Wow. Yeah. And you went there, so
pipe dreams.
Too old for most of our listeners.
That's true.
Yeah.
So you did the whole.
So I was into the bomb thing. The only other thing I could think of.
Talk towards the mic.
This is down to the wire. Oh. The telegraph.
Nice.
Click, 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 click. They're trying to get the news over to some important news there.
That's good. That's really good.
Click, click, click. Tap, tap, tap. They're trying to send it.
See, this whole 40s thing.
Yeah.
I still have a better one.
I have one more.
No, you got one.
Okay.
You have one.
Okay.
You have one.
Right.
So I had the thought of the telegram where it's like the race.
I said telegraph. I don't know what it is.
I don't know if you should have said that.
I don't either.
So
we get it.
It's down to the wire, the race, and like, but when photography and like a sprint race came out, they would have a wire that when they crossed the finish line, they would hit the wire, and that would make the camera go off.
Oh, brilliant!
And it would snap the shot of them finishing the 100-meter race.
Dan, you son of a. That's great.
That's great.
And it was down to the wire. Click.
Yeah.
That's where photo finishes came from. So the first time are you already high-fiving? You think I got it?
So you researched before?
No, I had that
Yeah,
thought.
did you watch a science
I
video
didn't even know you were doing down to the wire.
I texted twice.
When?
I have one more.
Look at your phone.
I have one more option.
That's good.
That's great.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Do you have any more ideas, or was that your...
I wanted to talk about
the drawing of the
Deadline
dynamite
a little bit if we had time.
The which one?
Because I thought Deadline was great.
Deadline.
Meeting a deadline.
Ooh,
there's so many things
another
I thought
World
about.
War II thing.
We'll save that for another episode.
Okay.
We got to make these last.
Yeah, we're gonna run.
The
out
other
of idioms.
thing was some sort of braking system where it's like rubber, and once those are worn down, it comes down to like one wire. If that wears through, you're done. So it's like you were dead. Like you look at the brakes, like or
a
like
lot of brakes have the little metal piece. They should. Where your brakes are getting low, your brake pads because they hit.
Right, but I'm thinking some sort of wire device where it's like, if that snaps, it's done. Like, game over. You guys were right down to that wire.
I got wire.
Like, the zip line thing, they're all unraveling and they're hanging from a cliff or something. Thread.
How about this?
How about filaments, actually, too.
No, I'm hedging my bets on my first, but this is just another one.
Hedging your bets? I don't know what that means.
Okay. It's hedgehogs? What is it?
Some sort of shrubbery.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking, what if like there's a case like being investigated and it's going to court.
Yeah.
And they're like, we just need evidence. And there's a guy with like a wire who did like
The
undercover.
Wire. I've never
and it's like
watched
it's
The
down
Wire.
to the wire. And they're
To
like,
get the
well,
info.
what was on the tape? And they're like,
what
let's
was on
get
the
the
wire?
wire. The wire tapped. They wiretapped him. It's going to come down to the wire. What are they going to find out in that hidden conversation? Like when John and Paul in Get Back, they hit a little wire. If you didn't watch the Beatles documentary on Apple, a little mic, a little
Peter
wire.
Jackson produced it
in like a plant. And John and George and Paul didn't know it was in there.
Yeah.
And they walk into this room to have a little private chat.
They're having some
about
tea,
George,
some lunch.
who quit the band.
Yeah.
And he's like, John's like, you're too hard on him.
Such an intimate,
but it really came down to the wire.
I haven't seen it.
Was it ethical?
No.
Hey.
So George wanted to hear?
George quit.
George quit. George was done.
Well, who put the wire?
The filmmakers.
The filmmakers, because they were doing a documentary.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I got to watch that.
But it really did come down
I think
to the
that's a great creative guess. I just don't.
No, it's not the right one.
I want to acknowledge you, but I also want to say.
Right. I hear you.
That's dumb.
But
no, I'm kidding.
Yeah, just like Jeremy Renner, I hear you.
Yeah.
But I don't listen to your podcast.
No. I hear.
Oh.
It's just, I hear.
Yeah, I don't hear
listen.
you. I've never heard your voice.
Not to you guys, but I can
another
listen.
Succession
This
reference.
Is not sponsored by Jeremy
We hear
Renner.
for you.
Okay.
Yeah. I think that was that in recent memory. This is an episode that had the best guesses from everyone.
It was rapid fire.
Yeah.
And they were legit.
Solid.
It's literally gonna come down to the wire of whose was the best.
Okay.
Here it is. Okay.
Meaning.
Drum roll. I wonder where that came from.
We have our little interlude music for our YouTube. It's like a cowboy riding in the sunset. It's an interlude. Meaning, until the last possible moment. In context, I made it to the airport gate just as it was shutting. It really came down to the wire. I had one of those. Okay.
Okay.
Come on, baby. Come on, you sweet.
Yeah, Dan got
sweet.
it.
The expression "down to the wire" has its origins with horse racing.
Oh, yes.
Oh.
Wait, you kind of said that
racing,
but how it lines up with us. Universe, you've done it again. Look at that moon shining on my face right now.
Horses.
Oh man.
Before camera technology existed to determine the winner of a close run race, a string was stretched across the finish line to assist the judges to see who crossed the line first. The string was called a wire, and whoever broke it first was the winner. An evenly run race was said to go down to the wire. Also used in foot races, the phrase was being used literally through the late 1800s and figuratively by the early 1900s.
So, did they use a camera?
Sounded like it was before.
It said before camera technology was invented.
The guys would need their shirt off. I mean, how else are you gonna?
I mean, I guess you could think that, but
no. Well, I mean, the wire's gotta.
It would cut them.
You gotta have
whoever's sliced first.
The most.
Like I'm just picturing a horse. Like if it's close, like I hit that horse. Like how are you gonna know?
They had a magnet on the horses, each horse's chest, their bridle. And it would stick to the first one.
It just said it assisted the judges to see who crossed the line first.
Like when the guy crossed and his face is like in pain. Because it's like probably a thick,
sharpened
cable.
What is that called? That gangsters use?
I mean, the wire.
to strangle people.
I don't know. I was picturing like the thing.
It starts with a G.
I was picturing Steve McQueen wrapping the wire across the road in The Great Escape, and the motorcycle hits it
right in the neck.
Oh yeah.
Like imagine if they put the wire too high.
Jimmy, you put the wire too high.
That's in a Ridley Scott film. Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah, The Counselor. It's a garbage movie, but
it's good to know.
But Ridley Scott, if you want to be on the podcast and talk about it, I guess it just assisted the judges. So there's some deeper questions. Searching there, but great job,
Dan.
That was really
well
good.
done.
I think we did
good. I think and
it
we're
just shows that we're
wrapped up nicely.
We're we're giving it our best.
Yeah, no.
We're not just kicking back and resting on our laurels.
We're not here to waste time.
No.
Not here to waste my time. Definitely not here to waste your time.
No,
this is...
I mean, I got time to waste. Like, let's go.
The guy that doesn't know it's Tuesday has all kinds of time to waste.
So, yeah, another great example of the magic.
Yeah.
You know, and that's what I say. People say, you have a podcast? What? And I'm like, well, I like to think of it as a factory. A lab.
A magic factory.
Of sorts. A magic factory, yeah. Much like Willy Wonka.
Yep.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
Cooking up chocolate.
Oh.
Yeah.
But us, we're cooking up delicious entertainment.
That's right.
Do you have a little song about it? Like a Willy Wonka song?
I've got a golden nugget of information for you.
Okay.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Have you guys watched the new Willy Wonka with Timothy?
I heard it's good.
It's so delightful.
Wait,
I love
isn't the new one was
Timothy
with
Chalamet.
who was before it? Johnny
Not
Depp.
Timothy McVeigh.
Johnny Depp was in it.
And now there's a new one?
Now there's a new one.
Johnny Depp was only like 10 years ago.
2006.
Oh my god.
Time flies.
Time flies?
When you're having pipe dreams.
That's almost 20 years ago.
Good.
That's insane.
I thought it came out maybe a couple years ago.
Yeah.
So they made a new one?
Yeah. It's
Why?
great. Huh?
Why?
That's a great question. Like, why? Yeah.
You just kind of keep...
Like, it was something that people didn't know that they needed or wanted, but they did when it was out. Much like this show.
That's right. And
You
people
didn't know
love
you wanted
chocolate.
You
this.
didn't know you wanted
You
this.
didn't know you wanted this?
You stumbled upon it, and now you're here.
Here you
Pull
are.
up a chair.
Yeah.
Stay a little longer.
Yeah.
We got plenty of them.
Plenty of them.
Keep them coming.
Yeah.
I'm Travis.
Dan.
Thomas.
Tom. The Horsemen.
We're back.
We're back, but now we're leaving because it's the end. So
Well, we'll see you on the next
see you
ride.
next time. Thanks for joining.
Yeah.
Hold Your Horses is produced by Ragged Wood Productions and edited by Gabriel Gutierrez. You can find new episodes at the beginning of every week on most podcast platforms.